What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
Yeah,
The last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, "Yo," he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt, and he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, "Yo, look, I could find other things to do for money."
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what? The last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, "Yo," he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And then me, like he kinda me. I was like, "Yo, look, I could find other things to do for myself." From the beginning, the relationship between 50 Cent and Diddy has always carried a strange tension that nobody in the industry could quite ignore. What appeared at times like playful jabs or friendly shade often revealed something far darker underneath. It wasn't just about trolling. For money, I'm not sure I can say that. For money, somebody pushed me. How much? How much? How much is this guy trying to get? I don't know. Like it's a simple suit situation, but it's like 20 mil. I can say you still had to black his face out. I still have to mimic his voice, 'cause he's like, but his voice wasn't even that different. I got a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck. I almost knew it was you, you know what I mean? I was like, no, I'm trying. Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. I think that might come for you. Young say, make sweet love. Sweet love rules the rape now. Well, I'm saying like, God, why is your homeboy so close to you when you come out of that? Look like you guys just made sweet love. I'm gonna say sweet love instead of anything that says that. To me, that's better, because they're gonna try to make it something else. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was smart. Like I didn't think about that. I say things to the borderline like I'm like, oh my God, you're in trouble. Like all the time. Because I just say, no, but you got close when he offered to take you shopping. Yeah. See, is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is just set that up. Look, you set that up, there's no shirt. What do you mean you did the same? I obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. You go, I'm like, this is some of the things that people say. Like guys may say to a girl, like, you let me take a shot. See, damn, they found it that quick? What do you think is happening in the middle? I don't know what is going on. They found Kendrick and Wifey. You can't dress up Kendrick like that. You can't dress him up like that. That's mess up. That's like the White Chicks movie, bro. Can't do that. Yeah, that was comedy. I was good. But now get away with White Chick. That's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. It was a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say? I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, like hang out. Yeah. He said, I don't know. Maybe I take you shopping. I get you flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like, it was someone's wedding. It was Chris Lighty's wedding. Nor knows this. I looked at him like, yo, you heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look like he would say stuff and it's like he wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway. Now you see so much that you go away. No, this was visible. He was in the hallway. We saw the video. We saw that video. It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's all. He didn't give a You can tell that he was already, nah. New Yorkers though. Cause when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, no, we party tonight. He's like, nah. Like, but he didn't party. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, what does it feel like all these years? You being the only one calling this out? I've been the crazy guy for a long time. They said the hater. They said I'm crazy. Do this. Yeah. And now everybody's complaining that if my ass is hurting, all this, that's coming. You can't make jokes about it. The internet might come for you, bro. All I'm saying, it might come from you. You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damned. They were paged. This is what was going on, right? What do I get for I went through years of a hater? You're a hater, you want this and that. I'm just watching, like I look at things and go, look, the when, you see the memes or the occasional Instagram dig. No, this has always been a rivalry steeped in power, money, secrets, and control. And now everything has exploded in ways that no one saw coming. 50 Cent, a man known for his brutal honesty and relentless need to expose, has done it again. But this time, it isn't just about embarrassing someone with a meme or reminding the world of an old scandal. No, this time, 50 has turned his sights on Diddy with a vengeance, and the things he's been revealing are nothing short of disturbing. What started as subtle comments and vague insinuations has evolved into a storm of shocking allegations that threaten to unravel everything Diddy has built over decades. 50 Cent has always been feared, not just because of his music or his business success, but because he's unafraid to say what others whisper in private. He doesn't operate under the same rules as the rest of the industry, while others remain silent to protect business relationships or their own reputations. 50 thrives on confrontation, on exposing the underbelly of an industry built on smoke and mirrors, and when he set his sights on Diddy, he made it clear that he wasn't holding back. The first cracks appeared on social media. At first, the new laws were coming with J. The part J, I go, oh shoot. Like then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that. Wait, do you think there's truth to the J thing? There's no way. Like that. Look, you know what's like? If you say I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you, yeah, okay. I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, it comes back, and it's like all the problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys. What you mean the laws are the way they are? Because the cuz of the priest touching little boys. Oh, why looking at me, bro? I assume I just go to church. I just go to church, bro. I have nothing to do with this. I'm an alibi. That's why the law is allowing people to turn away from you right been dead. What's the body of Christ taking that religion? You can't do that. He's like, yo, drink my blood. Yo, so it is crazy when after 20 years they come out that that is foul. But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades. Yeah, 'cause we had our own little thing. But everybody else is scared, huh? But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just asking. I think they're scared. But if they scared, then maybe insinuating Jay-Z a little bit. Yeah. But like you've been saying, people are going to come for him a little bit? No? No. He would do funny, funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like, it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl. Oh, he tried to cut that. Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist. So he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me, it's them. It's them. And then when M says he's not going to do it if I'm not dead, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. You know, what's your and Jay's issue? It's just competitive stuff. It's really just, this is what I'm saying, when it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef. Oh, okay. So that's the behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music, but there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side. And it's not like you're going to go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water. Yeah. Or this deal. And you go, he said that to you? Like, wow, I get that. Like they'll speak to your temperament. Like say, 50 cents is a little crazy. He'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kay. So he's basically trying to scare people out of deal with you. Interesting. And then M shut it down. And he was like, yo, if he's not coming, I'm not coming. And then it changes the whole thing, because he really is the biggest one. Yeah, like, they can say what they want. Yeah, but we go to the stats. Numbers don't. Numbers. Yeah,